3 times. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, before we get into this video, I want you guys to watch the entire video before you comment. Please watch the entire video before you comment. Or before you comment something negative or whatever, because there's a good chance that I talked about it in the video and you just didn't listen to it, because that's the same thing that happened in the last video. Somebody replied to the story saying, money and the way you talk won't mean anything. They didn't say anything, but won't mean anything if a cop gets a hold of you. There's plenty of men with riches and a voice that died, so please be aware that nobody is safe. They look for skin color, not character. I do understand that. Yes. And I wasn't talking about police brutality. I don't think that if you are the type of police officer to jump the gun and kill a black man or whoever the black person, whoever the case may be, if you are gonna do that, you're not gonna change it because they have a voice that is fitting to you. I don't think that. I do understand that. Yes. And I wasn't talking about police brutality. I don't think that if you are the type of police officer to jump the gun and kill a black man or whoever the black person, whoever the case may be, if you are gonna do that, you're not gonna change it because they have a voice that is fitting to you.
What's up, my lovelies?
Okay, so I wanted to address the video from yesterday because I was reading the comments like I always do when I'm in the video. Yes, ma'am. And I think people didn't understand what I was saying and misconstrued, maybe. Some people actually understood what I was saying, but most people didn't, I think, as far as the top comments go. But I want to preface this in saying that, first of all, oh wait, I was going to say this before I started. Go donate to George Floyd's family, and I don't have a specific link, but go find out and make sure that the source is credible. Go donate to their family. Go donate to the Minnesota Minnesota Fund, and also donate to, I'm trying to think, any Black Lives Matter movements that are near you in your cities. I just think that that's important, and I want to start off this video saying that because I don't want to take away from any of that right off the bat. So do that stuff first and then come back here. Either way, okay, let's get into it. So the video I made yesterday, or the video we made yesterday, was actually made, I want to say 3 days. Yeah, 3 days ago or 2 days ago or whatever the case may be. But I wanted to say that video was made like 30 or 40 minutes after I made that Instagram post. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should probably watch that video first because I don't want to have to go back and re-explain it.
Or go to his Instagram.
No, it's gone. It was a story.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a permanent.
Go watch that video first if you want to know. Okay. So I'm breaking down everything in this video because I've been sitting down and thinking about everything. One thing that I want everyone to know about me is that and I've said this before, I am very keen on putting yourself in other people's shoes and change and growth, right? And the only way to grow is to change, right? So when you have an opinion, you should be able to hear other people's opinions and form your own and see if you're right or wrong or whatever the case may be. Let me look at my notes because I did write notes for this. I wrote some notes because I wanted to make sure that I don't miss anything, okay? I talked about the George Floyd awareness. One thing that I think was very much so misconstrued or maybe not thought about as much is that, sorry, that would have been a lot if I said what I'm about to say.
Oh, yeah, because somebody's getting their car, y'all.
Our windows are down. White privilege is existent outside of police brutality. And I don't think that, I mean, obviously we know that, but...
It's a Porsche.
Is it really?
Yeah.
They killed it. Obviously, I think all of us know that, knows that. But I don't think we think about it. And especially in the times we're in now because of the George Floyd situation, everything that I said seemed like it applied to police brutality. Anyways, everything that I said seemed like that applied to police brutality. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I talked about my privilege. And the reason why I talked about this is because when I went onto Instagram, I saw everyone posting about Black Lives Matter and the whole George Floyd situation, and namely white privilege. And people were talking about their white privilege and all this other stuff or whatever. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I don't have white privilege, but what are some privileges that I have? Some things that I have that make me privileged versus anybody, any other race, whatever the case may be. And my mistake in that was, and I have 2 apologies coming. My mistake in that was the time frame. I think right now more than ever, it's not the time to be, for me personally, as a white person, if you're posting about white privilege, that's good. But for me personally, be saying, oh, I'm black and these are the privileges that I have for being, but no. Because in this moment, we're supposed to be unifying and uniting for a specific cause, and having disunity or like, oh well, I have this, it just makes the goal murky, right? So my wrongdoing was in the timing of the thing. I don't think that it should have been brought up now, but now that it has, I'm just gonna, you know, continue it to the end and then just I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. But I think that what I said could have used more elaboration. Number 2, my second apology is saying,
are you apologizing? I
am for two specific things. The time frame.
But you're not apologizing for what you said.
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
I am apologizing for the time frame, for bringing it up when I did, because I don't think that was the point. It obviously didn't have any bad intentions. I was just trying to say, you know, at any time, I was trying to be cute. Say at any time, you know, recognize your privilege and, you know, where you come from and did this or whatever. But I realize now where it was unfitting to talk about that as a black man. I think that you should, that conversation can be had, but I think that it just didn't need to be had when I posted about it.
At this time.
Yeah, whatever. So my fault. Second thing was, in my post, I said my 2 and the thing about it is also, I didn't name every single privilege that I have, just as me, Darius Gaskin. I didn't name every single privilege. I just named 2. Right? And they were most random 2. I was sitting and getting my hair done. This was literally the most spontaneous thing. I should have thought about it more. But I said money is one of my privileges. And what did I say? Oh, speaking white sounding. My fault was saying white sounding. And I think a lot of influencers do this. What they do is they think that whatever you post or whatever you know, put on the internet, that whoever's going to see that has seen everything else you've ever posted or put on the internet ever. And so when I put white sounding in quotes specifically, I thought that most people would know that I didn't mean white sounding, because I have said in countless videos that white sounding isn't a thing. So for me, it was like, okay, people know what I mean when I say white sounding. And I put them in quotes for a reason. If I actually thought that white sounding or sounding white was a thing, then I wouldn't have put it in quotes. The reason why I said white sounding specifically, because I thought about it, the reason why I said white sounding is because I wanted to tie it directly to a race issue. I think that if I just said proper sounding, then people wouldn't have directly tied it to it being a race issue. If I'm a white person and I'm looking at a black person, and this is a thing, but regardless of if in the comments I read that or not, which we'll get to towards the end of the video, I want to read specific comments. There are characteristics and things as a black person that are more digestible to white people. Now, this in no way is good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it just exists. So there are things that, regardless, and this is my opinion, regardless of you being black, there are things that make you more digestible to a white person, which is very sad and bad. I'm just saying in general, there are things that make you more digestible. So, me saying that, the reason why I'm talking slow is because I'm trying to get everything out. Mm-hmm. You know, I always talk slow when I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting every angle. Me saying what I said was purposely to pin it on a race issue. That's why I said white sounding. Mm-hmm. And I said it I think I said it in the video where we talked about cultural appropriation with Bad Baby. I said that white sounding isn't a thing. So,
yeah, he did say that.
So a lot of people to accuse me of thinking that white sounding is a thing, I understand where that comes from, and that's why I'm owning up to it, and that's my fault for saying white sounding, because you don't know necessarily that I don't believe that. So for me to make that narrative, it sounds bad. I completely understand that. Here we go. So here are my points. I just have a few things listed down. So the reason why I brought up that white privilege exists outside of police brutality is because I want to talk about more than just the privilege that someone can have in a police situation. So like, I said it wrong, but just because I'm saying that I have certain privileges as a black man doesn't mean that I'm saying that those privileges are coming from me being black. Because a lot of people were saying there's no such thing as black privilege. And not one time did I say that. I said that you can be a black person and have privileges. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that you have privileges because you're black. That's not the same thing. So white privilege exists outside of police brutality. So when we're talking about somebody clutching their purse around a black person, or hiring a white person solely because they're white,
color, yeah.
Those are different aspects in life where white privilege exists, obviously, right? So to say that when I'm speaking about privileges that I have, that I'm all of a sudden saying that I wouldn't be shot by a police officer because of the way my voice sounds or the money that I have. Nowhere did I say that. Not one time in the video can you see me saying that I would not be. I specifically said that it wouldn't matter if I was pulled over by a police officer or the way I sound or the money or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter.
Your color is your color.
It doesn't matter. If you're going to be racist, you're going to be racist. And I said that in a few of my replies or whatever. There's so much I want to say. Another thing is the idea of covert racism versus overt racism. Now, I forget which one's which. One of them, let me see, covert, not openly acknowledged or displayed. So covert racism is in the back of your mind racism. That means that, you know, you say you don't see color, you know, you don't think that black people are worse than any other race, this, but in the back of your mind you're thinking, oh well, this falls in the category of microaggressions, of like things that you think, these preconceived notions that you have about black people. You don't necessarily have it in you to shoot a black person because they're black. You don't have that in you, but in the back of your mind you're thinking things or prejudices about black people or any other race.
I bet you they're gonna order some chicken today.
Right. Stuff like that. Little small micro things that you may not be a person that necessarily would shoot a black person. You won't do that. But you have covert racism inside of you, right?
About their own race or about your own race? Or what?
No, about other races.
Right. Or if they age, or they people that do nails.
Right. And
it's a lot of stuff.
Along with that, I think we need to talk about racial bias versus racial profiling. Racial profiling is judging what somebody did or does based off of their race alone. Racial bias. Oh my gosh, I'm screaming in this. Oh my God.
And I said, Darius, why
we shouldn't have the windows down.
You know what?
They're listening to me, y'all.
Anyways, he was screaming and stuff, and y'all, it's just
a lot because the windows are down and everybody's talking child. Anyways,
it's a group of people getting in their car and they.
Oh my gosh, racial bias.
Okay.
Is when you have, okay, think of it like this. You have 50% is just their race. You're judging, let's say you're judging them, right? 50% you're like, okay, this person's black. And then you see these other characteristics. You see, this person's black. They are sagging. They speak like this. They talk like this or whatever. Whatever you want to make up in your mind of what a black person is supposed to do as this person who has overt racism or covert racism. You're thinking in the back of your mind, race, these characteristics equals criminal. That's what happens. Race plus this plus this plus this equals criminal. So I think that people are equals something. Whatever they have in their mind, their prejudice that they have in their mind. I think that people think that everybody's racism is overt, and it's not. So that ties back into what I was saying. So when I'm saying that my proper sounding voice, because for now I'm going to say proper sounding instead of white sounding, but I was trying to explain the reason why I said that, but my proper sounding voice is more digestible to someone who has covert racism. Because in the back of their mind, that's something they can't check off. That I sound like what they think a black person should sound like. So I was recognizing my privilege. I was coming from a good place saying, this is my privilege of, they can't check these boxes off for me. Even though either way, in any situation, if race didn't exist, I would speak the way I do. So without, without any doing of myself, I'm going to have them in their mind, me be more digestible to them because of the way I speak. Okay, this is where some things get iffy, because I was reading some of the comments and a lot of you guys were contradicting yourselves, and this is where this is just me being confused, and I want you guys to explain it to me if you can. A lot of you guys said that regardless I'm black, I'm going to go through the same things as any other black person, which I didn't say any otherwise. I'm going to go through the same thing as any black person, or no, what they said was that I would be killed if I was in a police stop too. Didn't say I wouldn't be. I want to say that again. And then they also said that you're a black man, you will go through the same things as anybody else. No money, the way you speak, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you talk, whatever, will change that. And then, on the other hand, in the same sentence, they say, well, you just don't understand right now because you're sheltered. And to me, that is contradictory, because if I was sheltered, that means that there's something shielding me from this outside world of the truth. If I can't see the truth, it's because something's shielding me from it. I'm screaming. It's because something's shielding me from it, right? So if I am being sheltered by something,
Go ahead.
An example, my privilege, how can I also go through the same things as any other black person at any given time? How can you experience the same thing as a black person but also not, because something's protecting me? What is protecting me?
And a shield.
What is shielding me from experiencing these things that these other black people experience? You can't say that I'm being sheltered by something, but then in the same breath say that I'm going to experience the same things as everyone else, because the only thing I can think of is, your parents or the neighborhood you live in or something shelters you. But that's not the case, though, because if regardless of anything, creed, religion, origin, background, you're going to go through the same things as a black man, you can't be sheltered at all, because it's going to happen everywhere. Does that make sense? I just didn't understand why it had to be brought up that I was sheltered, and that's why I didn't understand. And I don't know if that made any sense. I talked about the saying white sound, and I shouldn't have said that. Okay, another thing. My experience personally, my whole life, I've been called, and you guys have heard these phrases before, you might have even used them or whatever. I've been called Oreo, and I've been told to my face that I don't sound like a black person, right? We've heard that before. We know what that's a thing. And I mostly get that from black people. Obviously, I'm not going to get that from...
They're walking fast, yeah. Obviously, you don't get that from what?
Obviously, I'm not going to get that from a white person. I mean, I have gotten it from a white person before, but usually white people aren't going to say, you don't sound like other black people. I mean, I guess they do sometimes, but whatever.
They do?
I've gotten that before from a white person.
Really?
Mom, yes, I've gotten it all my entire life. So I know firsthand what it's like for a white person to come to me and to my face tell me that basically I'm more digestible than another black person.
Right.
Because you don't speak like other black people.
Right.
Your voice took me off guard. I didn't expect you to sound like that. My whole life I've gone through that. This is my experience. So my opinion, or when I talked about me speaking proper, was that that's not fair. That's not fair that...
Go ahead. Oh.
That's not fair that they can see me as more digestible just by the way I speak when I don't. I just speak the way I speak, right? It's not fair that they can have more prejudged notions about some other black person who doesn't speak proper. So the point of me saying that was to say I'm privileged for the way that I speak. Now, we're going to get into privilege right now, because a lot of people were saying, this was another comment that I was getting in abundance, was that you think you're better because you speak the way you speak. You're not better than any other black person. And you are saying that you're privileged because you sound the way you do. That is not a privilege. And the thing about it is that you're thinking of a privilege in a different way. There's two definitions to privilege. So let's look at what I meant. A privilege can be a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group, right? That's what I meant it as. This is an advantage that I have in certain situations, not in getting killed by a police officer, not in whatever you want to think it is, in very minute situations, microaggressions, covert racism. People can't check off that box for me. That I sound like a black person. I'm more digestible to them because of that, right? Not good, never said it was good, never thought it was amazing, show-stopping, whatever. But it's there, it exists. And I've experienced it firsthand, which is why I was trying to share that, right? And I hope people are watching this video and going through the whole thing. You guys, or the people who said this, thought that maybe, just maybe, I was thinking of it as something regarded as a special honor.
No.
That I'm saying it's such a privilege. Like, when you're like, it's such a privilege to give this award to Be Love's Life. It's such a privilege that I have a white-sounding voice.
No.
No. No. That's not what that means. What I'm saying is that people who participate in covert racism are going to find me more digestible than someone who doesn't speak proper English. That was the gist of my white-sounding comment, right? Okay, let me go back to my other points. So my next point is, because there's a lot, saying you have a privilege doesn't mean it's good or that you enjoy it. There's this video going around, or not going around now recently, but I feel like I've seen it a billion times, where this guy, I don't know if he was like within a church or some kind of organization where he was with youth, right? And a whole bunch of youth, black and white. I'm sure there was like Hispanic people. There's so many different types of races in there, right? So he would be like, okay, if you don't have to worry about your lights getting shut off, step forward. If your parents are still married, step forward. If you are going to school and your school's getting paid for by your parents or something, step forward. All this stuff, right? And he would do that, right? And then at the end, they showed an aerial view. It's a very popular video. They showed an aerial view of everybody on the field, right? And the majority of black people were in the back, and the majority of white people were in the front. My point of making this post was for everyone to be conscious of where they would be standing on that line. That's the reason why I brought this up in the first place. And for me, my point was saying that yes, I'm still black. I won't be in the front. Because one of the questions was like, are you ever scared when a police officer pulls you over? I can answer yes to some of those questions. I'm still black, regardless, at the end of the day. My college is being paid for. Okay? I am not necessarily, like, I wanted to say that, I wanted to pinpoint my position on the line, even though I didn't give every single privilege that I have. My parents are still together. You know, there's stuff like that you can have privileges for. I just wanted everyone to think about the privilege and where they would be standing on that line. So my point in saying that was that I wouldn't be all the way in the back. I wouldn't be all the way in the front. I was pinpointing my privilege of what have I been afforded in life by no doing to me that is going to afford me things in life. Does that make sense? That what do I do, or what do I have that is good? And I don't mean good because, you know, they're gonna take that in the way. What do I have that's going to afford me things that other people wouldn't be afforded based off of nothing that I did?
Right.
That's the point of just recognizing privilege. That's the reason why I did that. Okay. No, I'm trying to read it first before I... Oh! This was a hooter! This was a kicker! A lot of people, wanted to say that the way I speak doesn't make me any more or any less black. And I don't... And I agree with that. A lot of people are thinking that I'm saying that because of my white-sounding voice that I want to be white. And that I'm just so white. I'm for the girls. The girls are we love being white. And, you know, it's really sad that I can come on here on this platform, which is not even my own, and I can talk about issues in the black community. issues that I think are prevalent that we should be talking about. And in the same breath, people can say, oh, well, you just don't want to be, you hate being black. You want to be white.
Didn't they say I want to be white too?
Yes, they say that about us and the whole family.
Is you crazy?
And I will name this because I really want someone to give me a better example. You're looking at a video, whatever the case may be, and all of a sudden you leave a comment saying he wants to be white. What made you think that?
Right.
By the way I speak, because that would be terrible. That'd be horrible actually. If you were trying to say that I want to be white by the way I speak.
Is that what they're going off of? Because
you can't speak white.
Right.
You can't speak white. So I don't know how you can think that I want to be white by the way I speak. That would be gobsmackingly gross. Disgusting. Right.
Whatever.
My point is, and I'm losing my track of thought because I it's just so much. You can't say that I want to be white based off of the way I speak, because I don't know what other reason why you would say that I want to be white. And they say that about this family too. And I don't know what that means either.
I don't even understand how that is the possibility. With what? Y'all say, then they tell me I'm ghetto because the way I talk. They say, where does she come from? I'm ignorant, I'm stupid, I'm ghetto because the way I talk.
And that's wrong. That's cruel.
And they say my husband's intelligent and he has all the sense and the brains and all this stuff. And I just be like...
You can't prejudge somebody or whatever based off of the way they sound or whatever you have in your mind.
Right.
And then...
You're crazy.
And then say that other people don't do that. That they just look like your skin color. Because they're doing more than that. They're not just... I think that a lot of people who are racist do that. Just look at somebody's skin color. But the people who are participating in covert racism, people who are saying all lives matter, not just black lives or whatever, that's kind of really racist if we really talk about it. But the people who are covertly racist, those are the people that are saying something about more than just your skin color. They're taking these prejudices based off the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you act, whatever, because they feel that, yes, black people can exist, but they need to be more digestible to me. I think that I wouldn't be scared if they look like this or they look like that.
Or they talk like this.
Right.
Or dress like that, yep.
And this is all through my experience, and I'm just whatever. That's crazy. And I don't think people think about that. I know a lot of people, because I've gotten messages. I know a lot of people. Oh my God, baby. Hey, baby.
Sorry, y'all. We got some,
hey, baby. Yo.
some company. And,
wow, I want to stay there, too. Hey,
there is. Put your window back down, boy.
It's fine.
They trying to go in. Oh, she's trying to smoke a cigarette. Go ahead.
Oh, she's young. Anyways,
we're at a restaurant, y'all, so we just decided to do the video while it was light outside, and Darius really wanted to address this. I did have a video that's coming out tomorrow, that was supposed to come out tomorrow, but we need to get this off his chest because he needs to, I don't want him to go sleep on this. He needs to, this is very time sensitive, so it needs to be coming out.
Originally, I wanted to do it later, but if I would have done it later, everyone would have been doing a lot of times, oh yeah, he guilty. He guilty, girl. He guilty. And I would be going,
I knew they was gonna take this serious like that. I'm like, you can't just say nothing on this platform.
I do understand some of the things that they were saying, and
I do understand too. When you told me about the comments you was getting on IG.
Yes, I do understand.
We understand.
I can take criticism very well.
Right.
I do understand where some people are coming from. I do understand that. And if you know me, if you watch these videos, you know that I am an advocate for a change. If somebody can tell me something and show me their experience or whatever, and I've had something that I thought previously and I just didn't think about something, I'm going to add that into my thought process. Okay, maybe I didn't think about that. So I do appreciate the comments. A lot of you guys were very respectful, and I do appreciate that. In the last video, you guys weren't, well, some of you guys were, but most of you guys weren't.
Majority of you guys understood.
Doing a lot. No, most people didn't understand, but at least they were trying to educate me.
Right.
In the best way possible.
Okay. I didn't read the comments. So.
Instead of just saying, oh, well, girl, he's trying to be white, and all this other stuff, and being mean about it, and I literally, you know how many messages I've gotten of people calling me a coon?
What's that again?
A coon is a black person who wants to be white or is trying to pander to the white man. And I think that that is so cruel and wrong. How are you going to take somebody else's blackness away from them? That's
because you talk proper or have money?
Just in general, that's wrong to me. How are you going to tell somebody, oh, you want to be white or you're a coon, you trying to... I just feel like that's not your place to say that. Because I feel like I do what I do on this platform, and I'm conscious all the time, trying to speak on issues in our community to make our community better. And people will turn around all the time and call me a coon, when I'm the one over here talking about cultural appropriation and why it shouldn't be a thing. And another thing I was thinking about before making this video is that I don't... What? Oh my gosh, there's so much. I don't want to... Oh, I totally forgot what I was about to say. Forget it. I guess it'll come back up again. Saying you have a privilege as a black person does not mean that you're saying you have black privilege. Black privilege is not real. It doesn't exist. People are telling me, oh yeah, he's saying that black privilege exists. It does not exist. Girl, calm down. Nobody said black privilege exists. I don't think that it does exist. It's not real. People, are you crazy? None of what I said was that I have privilege because of my skin color. That I'm going to have privileges because of my skin is black. Are you crazy? And I will be going to read those comments firsthand. Right here on this video so you can see. Ladies and gentlemen. So you can see how ignorant people sound sometimes. Because I never said any of that.
But people will jump to conclusions. They always do that.
Like I said before, a lot of people were thinking that I said I was less black because I have privilege. I have privileges.
They took that out. They took a lot of stuff out of context.
They did.
Very much so.
Whatever. And this is what I was going to talk about before. So before I made this video, I wanted to think about sometimes saying something to the black community or about the black community is hard. It's difficult. And
it is.
The reason why, and I do understand this, the reason why is because we have one goal. And our one goal when it comes to social issues is equality, right? We have this goal of equality, and we may have disagreements within the black community, and it's often that black people, us, will attack other people who don't agree the same things or whatever the case may be, and that's natural for us. I think it's acceptable for us because, and I don't want to contradict myself here from a previous video. I'm talking about issues, when we come to social issues and we're talking about social justice and stuff like that. If people don't agree with everything, we attack them because we have one goal in mind. And when we have disunity within the community, it's going to make that one goal harder to reach. So that's why it's so important when somebody says something that, or like if a black person says white privilege isn't real, or cultural appropriation doesn't exist, or whatever the case may be. That's why black people often say something, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's your opinion, but it's not helping us reach our goal of equality. Whatever. So that's why I feel like it's so difficult to say something in the black community, because we have this goal of reaching something. So it again was my issue to talk about me being a black person and having privilege, because I think that maybe we're not ready for that discussion yet. Because, and especially not right now in this time frame right now.
Right.
But, and my privilege has nothing to do with me being black. It just has to do with me being a person. And you can have privileges other than race. And another thing I wanted to also point out is that people were saying, or if I'm saying that I have a privilege of money, or whatever the case may be, and I don't know how you all of a sudden think that I think that that's good. Because if a white person says, I have white privilege, 9.9 times out of 10, they're going to be saying, that's horrible. It's not good. A white person's not going to say, yes, I participate in white privilege. I have white privilege because I'm white, and it's amazing. It sure is amazing. The girls love it. If that's the case and you know someone like that, tell them to see the door. Tell them to see the door. Exit stage left. But most white people who say, okay, I agree white privilege is a thing, it's real, they're not going to say it's great, it's show-stopping amazing. And I don't think you think that. When they say, yeah, it's horrible, I support Black Lives Matter, and white privilege is real, you're thinking that they're saying that white privilege is good? No. So when I'm saying that I have privileges, that doesn't mean I'm thinking that it's good. I'm just saying that I recognize that they're there.
And you were born.
Born what?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? The situation that you're in, like, the way that you speak, it has nothing to do.
And, yes.
It has everything to do with what the area you've been raised in.
It just has everything to do with me.
Right, with
not
you.
With anything, not with me being black, not with anything else. Not with me pandering to the white man.
Right.
Not with me trying to change my race. Not with me trying to be white. It just has to do with me. And I'm recognizing some things that can happen because of the way my voice sounds. And I think the big thing that people were missing, and also it's my fault for not talking about that originally, is covert and overt racism. If somebody, like I said, I'm going to reiterate this again. Police officer, I'm getting pulled over, I'm just as likely as anybody else to be shot because I'm black. Yeah. Point blank, period. Nobody said any different. But somebody with covert racism is looking at your race. I'm not saying they're not, but they're also looking at other characteristics to form opinions.
If you're dressing the way you dress, if your pants are saggy,
which is horrible. None of that is good. None of that is good. I'm trying to preface this. None of that is good, but it's what people do, regardless. Growth is good, and change is the only way to grow. I wanted to make sure that I said that multiple times in this video too. Again, oftentimes people say we want to be white, and I don't know where you get that from.
Who, you?
We, us, as a family, which is crazy.
I don't even know how y'all think that. Y'all see me, y'all be hearing me. There is no way possible you can say that. And is you saying that because we have money? Because that, I don't understand that.
I don't know where else it be coming from. Are you saying that because of the way I sound?
Because he sounds
nothing.
Dalvin sounds the same way.
Nothing that I've ever said has insinuated that I want to be white. Nothing.
They going by for your characteristics. They have to be.
And that's wrong.
I know.
To do that.
I know it's wrong.
To invalidate my blackness because you don't feel like I'm black enough, and to say that I want to be white is wrong. There's nothing I've ever said on this platform, on YouTube, on Instagram, at any time that anybody was listening, I've never said at any time that I want to be white. Never.
Or insinuated, yeah. And I know I ain't.
Okay, so let's get to the comments. I'm going to read some ones who agree with me and ones that don't. Most of the ones that agree with me were directly messaged to me. So
we're going to read out some names and comments today. Woo, woo, woo. I hope y'all watch this video because I know it's long, but hey, it had to get out. And I don't care about if it gets low views, y'all. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to take one for the team.
I just wanted to speak my truth on this topic. This first comment.
Sometimes you gotta take one for the team.
This first comment, I'm not gonna name any names. I really could, but I'm not going to. You guys can go see them for yourself. This is the first comment that I see. It says, Darius, money or no money, if you get pulled over, all they see is black. And it has 152 likes. I want you to name in the video, in the part in the video, give me a timestamp. Give me a timestamp where I said that I wouldn't be pulled over because I had money, or that I wouldn't be killed because I had money, or I wouldn't be killed because I speak proper English. Nowhere did I say that.
We're very well aware.
This person says, Darius, you sound black to me. I am a trained journalist, so I was groomed early on to speak a certain way. However, speaking proper isn't what gives us away. It's the tone. Did you watch Love is Blind? I'm trying to go through something that's, I don't know what that is. Your tone is definitely black as you put it. Plus, I feel like that is true. Sometimes I don't feel like I necessarily sound white, but people have always told me that. Or sound white. Just make sure people know what I'm talking about. I do think that's an interesting tangent. Whatever, that one didn't really have anything. And a lot of these, I see that one I liked because that one didn't have, she was sharing her opinion. It had no malice in it, nothing wrong with that. This one said, so I'm going to say next caller after one of these.
Next caller.
This one says, unbelievable! Plenty of blacks are educated. Having money has nothing to do with injustice. And the way you speak or anyone speaks has nothing to do with this issue at hand and what's been going on in this world for many generations. And if you so happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, your life can easily be taken as well by the hands of wrongdoing. Check yourself in and self-reflect. This is so unreal because being privileged is an understatement, period. Well, you got the gist of what she was saying. I want you to point out in the video again where I said that I wouldn't be killed, that I could never end up in the wrong situation at the wrong time and be killed in any situation, because I just sound so proper.
I think sometimes some people don't watch the video and they go off of what the comments are saying, and then they go into a rage. That's exactly what it is. Let me call it out. That's what y'all do. Y'all don't watch the video. Y'all go in the comments and say, "Oh, that's what he said." Okay, let me say my thing. Put my 2 cents in it.
Right, because a lot of people are talking about the police brutality. And it's crazy because I specifically said in the video that if it came down to me getting pulled over, that I'm still black. Regardless.
We said that because of a comment that he got. And remember the man, boy, you read the comment that the guy said on IG. Yeah, and you said, of course, that was very, very true.
That is embarrassing for you guys.
Yeah.
It is. Somebody already said that, and I specifically said that I would not.
He agreed with that person.
My life would be spared because of money or the way my voice sounds.
This is why when I said in that video, one of those videos just this week or last week, I said that when Darius get pulled over, I told him, you call us right away, or you put us on speed dial, because I want to hear everything.
A couple videos ago, we talked about how when I got pulled over, it was a Panda Express video, if I remember correctly. I think we talked about it. We talked about I got pulled over, and my mom, I called my mom, and I was like, "Oh my God, officer!" And I called my mom because I wanted my mom to be there for me, and I wanted him to see that I was on the phone with my mom, and that right there tells you that I don't think that I'm shielded from the police.
Right. At that moment, he like, I'm panicking.
If I was just like, oh yes.
Right. Officer, what's up? What up though, officer? You pulled me over.
I called my mom for insurance.
Exactly.
Because I felt that I needed to be on the phone with her during this police encounter.
Yep.
Somebody who feels that they're sheltered from that doesn't need to do that.
Right. They feel that they gonna hear my proper voice. They're gonna see that I have money because I'm driving a Benz.
Right.
Or whatever the case may be. And they're gonna see that, I'm privileged.
I don't think this is the right time for that discussion, Darius. Honestly, I get your point. I don't agree, because if a cop sees you in your car, you're just a black man.
We said that. We know, y'all. I don't understand why you're giving all these comments, because
that is embarrassing.
You know what? Do you want to put this timestamp in here?
I'm going to have to find it, but that is embarrassing.
I will find it for you to where you said that point, and then put it in there, and then
go revert that. Go back to that clip, because that is embarrassing. But I just don't think that this discussion is for right now in any case. It comes off as if you're downplaying what's happening now. Focus on what's happening to black men in this country currently, and not your privileges. I completely agree with all of that. I'm actually going to like this comment. I completely agree with everything she said besides the whole police brutality thing. And I think that this is the wrong time. I understand all of that. I shouldn't have brought it up now. What
prompts you to do that?
It came from a good place. What do you mean?
I know that, but what prompts you to do that at that moment? Why did you want to put that and not say anything
Because I was so infuriated. This is what it was. I was so infuriated by, obviously, the situation. And I saw so many people, white people specifically, using their platform to talk about white privilege. And I said, wow, to me, I don't ever remember a situation where this many people have spoken out and been with the Black Lives Matter movement for as long as I can remember. So I was amazed. I was like, wow, this is crazy. We're all coming together. We're having unity. So when I wanted to post something, I was like, why don't I post something about this and then talk about maybe the privileges that I have? Because everyone was talking about their privileges.
But it was white people talking about their privileges.
Right. My fault in doing that was I shouldn't have talked about my privileges, because I think that makes the water a little murky. I think I should have just talked about the George Floyd situation.
Exactly.
And talked about white privilege, not my privilege.
Right.
Because it just confused things. Whatever. This says Darius may speak properly, but it doesn't sound white at all in my opinion. Thank you. Speaking black or having money doesn't have anything to do with white privilege. Once you're black you're black, it doesn't matter how much money you have or the way you speak. It's all about the way you look. They don't care how much money you have because of the skin you're in is how society bases and judges you. There could be a poor white person and a rich black person, but who is gonna take the hate and abuse the black person regardless? Police officer or not, they see your color first. So this person said police officer or not.
Right.
I didn't say that a person who's not a police officer who participates in covert racism is not looking at my race. I didn't say that. I do think they're looking at my race, but they're also checking off a load of other things that can make somebody a threat to them.
And it's true.
My thing is, okay, for example, somebody, I don't know if this is, if I'll ever get to this, but somebody specifically said something about, something about black men and boys. You know, something about police brutality and black men and boys. It was a comment that I read or something. And that is precisely what it precisely pertains to what I'm trying to say. Because the reason why you say black men and boys is because black women and girls are more digestible to a person with covert racism. So this is the whole issue. People are threatened by the black skeleton. They're threatened. They feel like they're in a position. That's the root of a lot of these police brutality situations. They're looking at you being black and they're like, oh my gosh. Obviously, a lot of it is overt racism and them just not liking black people or whatever. They have their prejudged biases or whatever. But they'll be like, oh, well, I shot because I fear for my life when he reached in his pocket. You fear for your life because you thought that he was a criminal. You thought that he was a threat because you were threatened by him. You looked at his characteristics more. You looked at the fact that he was black and 6'3" and this weight or whatever the case may be, and felt that you were threatened. I want to ask you this: if a white woman was on an elevator, and this is a cliche thing, white woman was on an elevator. There was a black girl, and she's 11 years old. She got on the elevator. Do you think that she in her mind is going to be more scared of her or more scared of a 6'3" black man who's heavyset on the elevator? It's more than just our color. Obviously, it's our color. I just want to reiterate that. It's our color. It's the fact that we are black. But there's a subset, a sub-level of things that people are looking at and making prejudged biases off of. She's going to clutch her purse to a man versus a 11-year-old girl.
Right.
So my point is there are things that you can not check off on their list as something that's threatening and that makes you more digestible to them. That it's crazy how I really very much so simplified this. Like, it's crazy how I was obviously thinking about all the things that I'm saying in this video, but I simplified it to such small words that there's no way that I could have done that right. There's no way I could have made that post and had people understand what I was saying without saying this many words. It's more than just your skin color in certain situations. Certain situations. Black girls get killed all the time. Black women get killed all the time by police officers. All the time. So, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I said a billion times.
Somebody gonna say, I didn't hear that. Or they go.
It's being ignorant of privilege because you two got that down pat.
What?
Next caller! Next caller!
What? How they get it? What? They say we ignorant.
Let me just read some of the stuff I got from Instagram. That's why
I don't read them comments, because y'all crazy. Some people, not all people, but some people are literally Looney Tune. Cuckoo.
Okay, this person messaged me today on Instagram.
That long?
Yes, it is that long.
Is it good?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know the likelihood of you reading this, and I'm not going to name these people's names, but I just watched the mukbang of you and your mom talking about privilege. The comments on that video are incredibly hurtful, and I'm really sorry you're getting this wave of hate.
Aww.
I think that you did a really amazing job explaining what your privileges are and how you've acknowledged them as part of your life that gives you a step ahead of others. I think it's so important to have conversations like these because whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native, you have privilege. And I don't think that was her trying to downplay white privilege, because I don't want to ever say that everyone has privileges.
Right.
I've heard that before too when I'm talking to people about white privilege. They're just like, everyone has different privileges. No. No. Everyone has different privileges, but they're not based off of their race.
Right.
And that's not to say you don't have struggles or have an entire system oppressing you. Right. Just because I'm saying I have privileges doesn't mean that I'm saying that I will never... I'm just shielded by all black people. Right. I'm just not even black. Like, don't talk to me about police brutality because it'll never happen to me. Right. That's not what I'm saying. Thank you to this person. I said whoever it is.
Who was that?
I don't want to... Because what if she didn't want to be put on blast? And that's not to say you don't have struggles or an entire system oppressing you, because, of course, that is the reality of this country. But having privilege can come from having white skin, having parents who are together, living in a house, obtaining extended education, like a degree, to speaking in proper English. The fact that you have acknowledged the privileges you have is so, so important, and having a conversation about it on a big platform is amazing. No one is saying you're not black or less black for recognizing your privileges, but you're just showing how you have an advantage over others. If you were at a job interview and you were competing against someone who doesn't speak proper English, then you have a way higher chance of getting that job. Now, granted, I think that in that position, it would probably be two. If it like I think I said this in the other video. I don't know if I did, about two black people going.
Me and you.
Yeah.
Me and you talked about it.
Yes.
Because we said that if two people, we wasn't even on camera, but two people going for a job interview.
Oh, I didn't say it on camera?
I don't know. Did we?
I don't remember.
We talked about a lot of stuff off camera. So.
If two black people are going to, if two black people are going to a job interview, and let's say this person is going to hire a black person, they don't have anything about, you know, whatever, white and black people, I am going to have an upper hand based off of the way I speak versus someone who doesn't speak proper English. That is all I was trying to say.
Right.
As a white person being an employer, they're going to look at both of us, even if we had the same credentials, and assume, based off the way I speak, that I am more educated or more qualified for the job than the other person, which I feel like is wrong. But I'm just acknowledging that it's there. But you're just showing how you have an advantage over others if you were at a job. So anyways, I just want to say thank you for talking about it. And again, I'm so sorry for people hating on this conversation. Thank you for that.
Right.
Because a lot of people were not understanding where I was coming from. And I still stand by everything that I did say. I just didn't explain it in a good enough way. Let's see some other comments that are probably
He said what he said, y'all. He said what he said. I said what I said. And he not apologizing for the fact that he said that. He just apologizing for the way it came off. Maybe it came, you know, some people took it the wrong way. And, of course, people did. Like they always do in YouTube.
I didn't explain that part. That's partially my fault. I didn't explain it enough. But I think that people did jump to conclusions. Maybe didn't watch the whole video or whatever the case may be. Maybe had their preconceived things about what... It's so easy. I'm an easy target for He Wants to Be White. Very much so easy target. That's all they say is he wants to be white. He wants to be white. He loves white people. He's just striving to be white. So
we love everybody, but still.
But they mean it as like I'm striving to be them. So if I say anything, it can be turned on a dime.
If they say I'm striving to be white, you know something's wrong with somebody.
And I just don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
That hurts me.
Please, everybody that says that about this family, tell us why that you think
tell
that
us why.
Explain down in the comments below.
This is an open discussion.
And Darius is going to respond.
This is an open discussion. I want you guys to feel free to go in the comments and share your thoughts. That's all we can do. Right? Whatever.
And watch this whole video before you share your thoughts. And don't be a jellyback.
We should have said that in the beginning.
A jellyback and just read the comment. Oh, I'm going to go back off what they said.
Well.
And just listen to the video first. Jeez Louise. And y'all talking about me. Anybody that can say that I want to be white, we know you delusional. Because, no.
You are talking that. But all gay people speak proper. That mess you talking is crazy. Take after your brother. You are a bragger and your mom goes for whatever you say. Next caller!
Please, Nicole.
Are you crazy? Please, get out of here.
Every gay person, what? Talk black?
It was tried.
I don't know what
she said every gay person speak proper. That mess you talking is crazy. Take after your brother.
Mean?
I don't know, Mom. I said next caller for a reason.
Oh, you sound like you need something.
And moving on to the next caller. Let's just see.
That's your Instagram?
Yeah, this is my Instagram.
Oh.
Mine's black. Mine's black because you have I have it on dark mode. let's see what this person says. Hey Darius, I'm watching your mom's latest vlog and I saw your initial Instagram post and I understand what you were saying completely. There wasn't anything wrong with your post and I'm glad you spoke out. A lot of these black YouTubers / celebs are not speaking out and their silence is definitely noticed. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Person.
I want to again say that I didn't mean this in any bad place in my heart. I didn't want to say like, oh well, I've said this a billion times in this video. Nothing that I said was supposed to be taken bad or whatever. I get that it ended up that way, and sometimes that's gonna happen. Being an influencer at all, people are gonna take your words or whatever. Happen. I'm just gonna try to explain the best of my ability of what I really meant and get everybody's opinions in and whatever. Let's see what this says. I followed your mother for a few years now. I just love the energy you guys bring. Her videos have definitely my best friend during the have been my best friend during the pandemic. Keep doing what you do. You're young and this has nothing to do with the thing. But thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This was Brandy.
Brandy.
Be Sassy 12. Thank you so much for saying
that. Thank you, Brandy.
So, I can't even read that one. The comments, the direct messages that I get, like,
y'all wouldn't believe some of the direct messages we get. I get too.
Like,
it's crazy. It's laughable.
Was that necessary though?
No, it wasn't.
Next caller, because it really wasn't necessary.
It don't even make sense.
Somebody responded to my thing saying, "I understand it perfectly. I know what you're saying." Off of I'm going back into the actual Instagram
thing.
Thank you.
Read a couple of more, and we gonna end it.
Yeah, we are. But you're still black, remember that. I don't care if you speak soft, and neither do those that are racist. First of all,
these are people that are ignorant. They didn't listen to the video.
Well, that was off of my post. Those are people who didn't watch my video. But even after that.
Oh, that's off the post.
But even after that, and this makes sense, when you go through somebody's story, you can only see, it's in chronological order. My original post, you already heard my original post, and then I made another post after that explaining what I meant in more detail.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I didn't read that on camera.
So they're reading that for that?
Let me read what I said, because somebody said, you still black man, you're still a black man, baby, no matter what. I said, thank you for reading my post. With all due respect, the point was not to say that I will not face challenges because I have money or sound white, but to say that we should be recognizing privilege from any and everywhere we may have it. I believe having money or sounding white has and will continue to get me opportunities that others may have. Obviously, this privilege shouldn't exist and needs to be eliminated immediately, but I can guarantee that speaking the way I do is more digestible, as I aforementioned. Horrible, but it is definitely true. At the end of the day, I'm still a black man and I always will be. If you're racist, you're going to be racist. I just wanted to open the conversation to show that privileges sometimes hide in dark corners and we need to make sure that we see them.
That's it, period.
And I don't think there was anything wrong with what I said.
Nothing wrong. Your daddy said it actually was an intelligent.
Oh yeah, the way I said it. No, that wasn't when I told the girls.
Oh, that's not what you said to the girl?
That's not what I told that girl.
What was it? What
did I... Oh... This is what I read to the girl. I'm going to read this and then we're going to go. I'm going to try to read this quickly.
Yeah.
I explained this all in an upcoming video for people who didn't understand what I was trying to say. I don't know if you read my next few story slides, but I'll say it again. In my life, I will be awarded / offered things because I sound the way I do. A privilege that should not exist and a privilege I definitely didn't ask for. Now, money is also a privilege that I have. In no way should that change people's views of someone, but it does. If someone says, I have white privilege because I'm white, is that them saying that white privilege is good? No. So when I say that I will continue to be more digestible to other people because of the privileges I have, that's not me saying it's a good thing. Also, in no way am I saying I'm not black because I speak the way I do. Because obviously that's not the case. In the event of a police officer, I would very well be killed because of my skin color regardless of my money or voice. If you know me, you know I know that white voice isn't real. I just use that to directly tie the way I speak to being a race issue. If I would have said intelligent sounding, people probably wouldn't have tied it to being a digestible race issue. White privilege exists outside of police brutality as well, which I'm sure you know. What we don't talk about in the black community is that to them, yes, we are all black people, but some black people are nice blacks, non-scary blacks, digestible blacks. The way to be in those categories in their eyes is to have money, to speak proper, etc. Regardless of even if race was a thing at all, I would speak like this. So I'm just recognizing that I have more privilege than someone who doesn't speak the way I do. If someone has a racial bias, I could get a job over another black person because they'll rate my intelligence off the way I speak. That is what I mean by privilege. That person could very well be more qualified than me, which is terrible, but true. I hope that cleared up some of what I said. If not, feel free to respond. And then, oh, because she called me a coon. So.
Did she respond?
No, she read it and didn't respond. But anyways.
You can't come back with that.
I just don't know what you can say to that. Nothing
There's nothing that you can say because he did not say anything wrong. He did not say anything about him trying to dismiss that he's black, a black man living in this society. That he didn't say anything about him being not cannot be
right. I cannot go through the hardships.
Shielded
of,
from
I didn't say anything about me going through hardships of being black.
Right, exactly.
This is crazy, and I just don't. I don't like when my character is being tarnished because of a misunderstanding. That's what it is. I don't necessarily fault you for misunderstanding. I do fault you if you didn't watch the whole video and you made. And
a lot of y'all did watch the whole video because if you did, you wouldn't have never ever said anything about.
You wouldn't be talking about
black. You're black, and we already said that in the video.
We did. So I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm gonna.
But I hope y'all gotta explain.
I hope you guys understood what I'm saying. There are no hard feelings. I'm hoping we can move on from this. I'm hoping you understand what I was saying, and at the end of the day, I'm still black. I don't want to be white. I never claimed to want to be white. I don't think that I am just shielded from being black and that everyone's gonna look at me and say, wow, like that black guy is just so cool and rad, and like this other black guy, I just feel like I want to shoot him. No, I never said any of that, and I don't feel that way. Also, I think it's very disrespectful to call someone a coon, maybe I'm thinking that because it's directly pertaining to me, and I don't feel that I'm giving off that behavior at all. I just think it's very disrespectful because I am often conscious about talking about black issues because I want our people to progress, and for you to say that I don't belong in the black community because of the way or that I'm trying to disconnect myself, it hurts me personally. And our family for saying that. Just the fact that you can deny someone their blackness because you just want to say that they think that they don't want to be black. And
don't tell me I don't want to be black.
I know.
I don't even understand how that happened.
I don't know, Mom.
With me.
I don't know. Even with me. If you are an advocate saying that you can't speak black, so why does the way that I speak have anything to do with me wanting to be black or not?
And how does the way that I speak have me anything, whatever?
What?
Well, yeah.
Anyways. The moral of the story is next caller.
Next caller? We gotta do a thumbnail.
Oh. No.
You better make a back. You gotta look at them.
Oh, we look crazy, Mom. I think they're gonna be going, what is going... I don't even know what this video is going to be titled. Guys, I'm so nice, and I hope we can move on from this. I'm glad I got all that off my chest. If you disagree, yes, I still love you. He
has to get that off his chest. Now he can sleep, have a good night's sleep. I tell him, anything that you have to say, always get it off your chest because it's going to keep on bothering you. You're going to keep on thinking about it, trying to fester. He's been thinking about it all day, and I said, you got to get it out. He got it out, and that is the way you need to live your life. Spew it out. Go to sleep very, very peacefully. You're going to feel better, aren't you? You feel better?
Yes, but I think I want to put a clip at the beginning of this video saying to watch the entire video before people comment.
Yes.
I can help Dad edit that. But let's do it right now. Okay, before we get into this video, I want you guys to watch the entire video before you comment. Please watch the entire video before you comment. Or before you comment something negative or whatever, because there's a good chance that I talked about it in the video and you just didn't listen to it, because that's the same thing that happened in the last video. So I appreciate... Oh, what?
Oh, go ahead. You appreciate... Go ahead, no. Go ahead.
I appreciate you watching this video and understanding and, you know, giving me your thoughts in the comments below, because discussion is great and I think we need to be having that.
And don't get on me for fixing my hair either.
What? Fixing what?
Don't get on me for fixing my hair.
You fixed her hair?
I just did this. There she go playing with her hair again.
That was tried. Anyways,
I love y'all. This is the end.
No. This is the end.
Oh, this is the beginning.
We'll cut that this part out. Okay.
You remember when you said me fixing my hair?
No, we can keep that in the beginning. I don't know, Mom. Okay, bye, guys. We love you. Tomorrow will be a normal but mukbang. A normal...
Mukbang.
A normal mukbang. I hope you guys haven't lost your trust in my thoughts or my process of thinking. And maybe this just wasn't the time to have this conversation. But regardless, love you guys. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye. Peace. Love you. Peace, love, and hair grease. What's up, my beloved?
I got a sauce. Smagalicious. 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 I got a craving for some crab legs. I want boiled eggs. I want shrimp. I'm a bougie chick. A whole mukbang. Gotta have that lemon rain. And I dip everything. It's smagalicious. Beat love, beat love, beat love 3 times. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Beat love, beat love, beat love 3 times. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.